today we started doing stuff within our own sub-teams. Unlike Saturday, where we just got into our teams and, met with people and sort of introduced them to what they would generally be doing, today we started teaching the people in the subgroup stuff. It was really exciting because instead of just, telling them that this is what they're going to be doing, you got to show them how they're going to be doing it and, why. Which is much better and somewhat more efficient than just telling them, what happens. So for all the subgroups, there are actually two sub-team leaders. On electrical, we have Anna and Marissa. In the shop, we have Brian and Evan. And you have not seen Evan yet because he does not show up on time almost ever. On the CAD side, we have Kyle and Cameron, who you have also not seen yet because they have not been showing up a lot either. But they will. Kyle has tennis, and Cameron, well, his dad's a mentor, so he'll make him come if he has to. Obviously, I've been around longer for Chris, so I am sort of better with just generally organizing things, but he has been doing stuff with computers much longer than I have. So in terms of actual code, he will probably be more efficient at that once he learns LabVIEW. So when we got into our subgroups, I had dinner, which means I had to go sit down in the hall, because the room where we have our meetings is a peanut-free room, so I was not allowed to eat in there. And then this is what Chris just sort of started.
Visual Basic.
You know what I programmed? Yes, I did. Okay. Java Basic, C++.
You want me to do it? My turn. I will kick you. Pizza.
That's Tucker. I didn't get footage of him last time, but there he is. And while Chris was speaking, we got free food. So, of course, every teenager's first instinct was to run towards the food and not care about anything else. This team is no exception.
We got free pizza in the classroom.
Okay, bye guys. I'm hungry.
And I was also able to learn how to spell Cheyenne's name. And you just heard me pronounce it, so no one has any excuse to either misspell it or mispronounce it from now on.
Cheyenne.
Okay.
Capital Wyoming.
Okay, thank you.
It's really simple. And if you ever look up my full name, it comes up Cheyenne, Wyoming, Sloan Lake. There's a lake in the city.
And after that, Dr. Critchley came in, and he sort of just started explaining the general structure of LabVIEW to them and what different things do. And then he had to leave, so I stepped in and I sort of just kept going over more LabVIEW stuff with them. So now they all have, a general concept of how LabVIEW works. That was a backwards L. Anyways, that took about half the meeting, and the other half was dominated by our miniature robot competition! I don't have sound effects, so I tried to add in my own, but I understand it didn't work very well. Sorry. Anyways, for the last couple of weeks, we've been having the teams, go over their designs for, a robot to play the 2006 game Aim High. And on Saturday, they built model robots of their designs to play that game. And today, we had our first robot competition, where they put their models on, a scale-sized field. They played in 5-second intervals, where they got to decide, where the robot would do and, if it would shoot, or the actions it would take, and stuff like that. And then the judges, who were Anna, Chris, and Mr. Hoover, essentially decided, how accurate the robot was, so, if they shot, how many points they would get, depending on their accuracy and stuff like that, how far they were allowed to move within those 5 seconds. And for a 2-minute match with real robots, the model robots took 15 minutes! Woo! So this is going to be an extremely condensed version of that, because I wasn't going to put 15 minutes on a whole separate video, when, half of it was just people talking about what they were doing anyways. But here's the footage of what happened with the extremely repetitive music that I like.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here, all the teams that worked hard meeting the bag and tag day and getting their robots here.
Only 4 of you.
All right. Good thing, because we only got 4 positions, right? Right. Okay. With that, I'd like to kick it off with our technical game committee to explain the teams.
We've got the corner goals are you score by just pushing them in. The center goals are a little bit virtual. You have to kind of so big up there, but it doesn't matter because you're not actually shooting the balls anyway. And these, although they look like rings, they're actually supposed to be spherical balls of rubber, but don't let their toroidal shape go in.
Imagination is
Right, imagination is the key.
No wonder why they're made out of cardboard.
The platforms are not exactly the scale, but close enough. And
Close enough.
one thing you should remember, the drivers will be on the opposite side of the field from the goal. So the blue alliance is on this end of the field.
And I know that may not have seemed like a lot, but that's really all that happened at that meeting, and they each took up a large amount of time. So I'll see you next time.